Maniacs, welcome back to the channel. Your local bedhead here. We are going to be diving into what Sam and Colby missed during the year of 2024. Obviously, I'm just going to give my personal thoughts. If I can debunk something, I'm going to do my utmost best to do so. Doesn't mean I'm going to be able to. I just have fun doing this occasionally, and to see what they think they might have missed too. So if you have not, go support the original video, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. If you're new around here, get this video over 100 likes. If you want to see this kind of content continue, at least 100 likes would let me know that, hey, go ahead and continue doing this. We like really hearing what you think, and I'll do my best to do so. So here we go with what Sam and Colby might have missed. All right, fellas, see what you got. See what you got.
Today, we're going to be reacting to all the things that we missed in our investigations of 2024.
And guys, just warning you right now, spoiler alert, if you haven't seen the videos yet, go watch them first.
So guys, stick around because apparently this last clip is truly terrifying. Let's get started. Bobby Mackey, is there...
I'll be the judge of that. Thank you. Oh, yeah. They also went to Bobby Mackey's. This is the episode with Bobby Mackey's, too. And, yeah, that place is no longer with us. Wow.
There's a shadow figure sighting caught by Explorer highlights.
There's a bit of light from the bar shining on this chair, and I noticed a shadow moving on it. And I was like, wait a minute. And I stopped my whole tour mid-sentence.
Something peeked its head around.
Yep, I just saw that.
On the corner of the archway.
Wait a minute. And I stopped my whole tour mid-sentence.
Oh!
Mid-sentence.
Archway.
Wait a minute. And I stopped my whole tour mid-sentence.
Oh!
Mid-sentence.
Oh my god!
Wait, what? How do we not see that?
I don't know.
Creepily enough, the guy just described the figure right before.
The guy just described the figure right before.
The doorway on stage right or left, people will see an apparition either poking its head out or it'll do like a sidestep.
Oh my god!
What? That happened? We didn't even notice?
That is exactly what he described. Poking its head out or doing a sidestep like that. And that is exactly
And that's at Bobby Mackey's.
what that figure looked like. Wasn't he the only guy, or no?
I think he was the only guy.
So maybe we're misremembering. This was like February or March or something like that. There was this guide who walked us through the tour, and then there was a security person, but the security person was in a van outside. But either way, if that is actually a shadow figure, the fact that he's describing it right before, and it's almost like calling out to it. It's like, oh, this is what he usually does. He's like, oh, let me show you exactly what he just said.
That's the part that like convinces me and freaks me out the most, is it's not like it did anything different than what the guide actually described.
Really good catch. I don't know how we missed that.
Dude, we watch these videos so many times, we have no idea. Did all
Okay. First off, that is a good catch, because I completely missed it myself. That is a good catch. I'm not sure if anybody, other people on YouTube might have caught that the first time. It's so blurry. It's really hard to make out what that could be, because Sam and Colby are known to bring people along with them from time to time, and sometimes, and most of the times, we might not even are aware that they are there. I'm not saying they had their producer along with them or whatnot. Maybe the security guard walked in, maybe took a look to see what they were doing, and maybe just noticed they were filming, so he snuck back out. There's a very good possibility that could be the case here. And more than likely, that is probably the case what happened here. But honestly, I'm looking at this, and from a far distance, it's really hard to make out. Obviously, this could be the head right here. Maybe someone peeking through and looking around. But now it looks like they have longer hair, if this is what I'm seeing. Again, I could be completely wrong about this. It looks like they have longer hair. Because at first, I thought it was a woman looking around the corner. But again, it's so blurry, you can't really make out. The one thing I could probably do, actually, and I'm going to go ahead and do this, go out of my way to go watch the video and see if that person may show up again and again and again. If they do, then maybe we have our answer. But if they don't, then it is what it is. Sam and Colby, Joe Rogan. And we're going to want to go all the way here.
Bedroom close to Christmas time, and you're finding the presents, and you know they're going to be home in about 5 minutes. That's exactly how it feels. You're like, get in and get the hell out.
Oh. Looks like I just saw them again.
In mom and dad's bedroom close to Christmas time, and you're finding the presents.
Okay, this is where the supposed apparition was.
And you know they're going to be home in about 5 minutes. That's exactly how it feels.
Okay, whoever it is right there again. I'm not sure if that was, one second, I don't think that little shoulder looking thing was there.
I don't like being back behind that stage. It's just, I always relate back to it being like being in mom and dad's bedroom close to Christmas time, and you're finding the presents, and you know they're
Yeah, so that was not there a second
be home in
ago.
about
It's
5
back there
minutes.
again.
That's
in a
exactly
second.
how it
So
feels. You're like,
there it was again. The person's still
get in
there.
and get the hell out.
Oh.
So it's really uncomfortable. One of mom and dad's bedroom close to Christmas time and you're finding the presents, you know, and you know they're
Okay, I'm gonna make this bigger, actually, folks. Sorry about that. I'm gonna make this a little bit bigger.
gonna be home in about 5 minutes. That's exactly how it feels.
Okay, there they are. They're walking back into frame.
You're like, get in and get the hell out. So it's really uncomfortable.
And it looks like that might be them right there. Because that wasn't there a second ago, unless they're at a different angle, but it doesn't look like they are.
Being in mom and dad's bedroom close to Christmas time and you're finding the presents, you
No, that wasn't there a second ago, so there's definitely somebody over there.
know, and you know they're gonna be home in about 5 minutes. That's exactly how it feels. You're like, get in and get the hell out. So it's really uncomfortable. One of my last tours, actually a couple weeks ago,
Still
I was
there.
sitting here talking to him.
They're right there. Whoever it
There
is
was
is
a
right
bit
there.
of light from the bar shining on this chair, and I noticed a shadow moving on it. And I was like, wait a minute. And I stopped my whole tour mid-sentence.
Yeah, they've been there the whole time. They're just
And
walking
I watched
around.
the shadow move towards me, and I was like, hold on.
Whoa.
That was the heater. That was the heater. You're good. But anywho, it moved towards me. I walked over to see if there was any
They're right there. They keep coming back.
cars in the parking lot that might have, shined lights.
Okay, so that whoever it was is not just something that popped up randomly. It's somebody who's actually physically back there into the kitchen area and is just watching what's going on. That's not a ghost. I do not believe that is a ghost. If it was, I'd be more if that was just one time and then they were gone, I'd be a little bit more okay, that's interesting. But it's the fact that they keep going back and forth. Like, I'm not sure how long they've been back there. Let me go ahead and take a look again. Okay, I'm beginning to lean more into the idea that this was probably somebody who was actually back there listening in. I got no proof of that, but it feels more logical because that person does come back and forth a lot in that little few minutes. We only got to see one moment in this video, but it does look like they come back and forth a lot. So anyways, let's go ahead and continue.
Timing it right before, and it's almost like calling out to it. It's like, oh, this is what he usually does. He's like, oh, let me show you exactly what he just said.
That's the part that like convinces me and freaks me out the most, is it's not like it did anything different than what the guide actually described.
Really good catch. I don't know how we missed that.
Dude, we watched these videos so many times, we have no idea. Jalong jail was Mr. Nasty watching. So Sonic_Boomerang says, I commented.
They did say that, yeah.
They did.
They said that.
I commented on their latest YouTube video about seeing two faces above the REM pod around 103:45. I watched it multiple times trying to debunk it, but they weren't there. Then they were, then weren't again. It happened all so fast.
Two different faces above the REM pod. Okay, let's check it out. Oh my god. Oh! Yeah, it was only there for 2 seconds.
Yeah.
Oh!
I see.
Oh yeah.
Wait,
that's terrifying. I mean, there's definitely possibilities of debunking that one, but what's crazy is we are trying to summon Mr. Nasty, and we actually got the REM pod to go off right as you see the figure. So like, if it were to be a ghost, it would make sense. But also, it could be the reflection.
Correct me if I'm wrong, wasn't there two evil entities in that kitchen?
Mm-hmm.
It was like one specifically in that room and then one specifically in the kitchen.
Yeah.
So there's a smiley guy, and then there's Mr. Nasty, there's two.
Mr. Nasty was human. That smiling thing is said to not be.
So there was two faces.
Two faces with the two evil guys.
Oh god.
I just remember Jalong Jail being genuinely dark.
Yeah, it was scary. Never going back.
You know, it's kind of crazy that we miss all of these things when we're like watching our own videos back. What's even crazier is when they miss the fact that there is a fat subscribe button right underneath our video. Like, it's like literally right there. How are you missing that? This next one comes from the Hinsdale house. Songs from the Forest.
crazy enough, I feel like the same could be said about me, but I also feel like with my honesty, like when I speak my mind, some people who may have watched me back in the day when I used to be very much open to most of the things they were saying. Like, I was actually like all for, hey, there could be a really huge possibility that could be, a real ghost or something. But now it's like I've seen things that I just was missing the first time around, and maybe watching the stuff and maybe my mind progressing in the way it's gone and just being a little bit more cautious about what I watch has probably turned a lot of people off to this channel, and they probably have left my audience, and that's okay. I'm not sitting here saying they need to stick around or anything. If they don't like my thoughts, that's fine. I like the idea that you're having a conversation with somebody who might not always agree with what you're saying, and then we can have constructive conversations about it. I'll have a conversation with you as much as I possibly can, especially on our live streams. But I completely understand not wanting to stick around, but a lot of people, believe it or not, if they actually went down to the subscribe button, and most of you probably are not aware you're not even subscribed to this channel, you'll be surprised. A lot of people have messaged me saying, I wasn't even aware I was like unsubscribed from you. I'm being told by YouTube that a good portion of my channel is not even subscribed to me. So like a lot of people who keep coming back are not even subscribed and are probably not even aware of it. So just make sure you go check.
User Not Your Local Alice says, in the very beginning, Nikki said that she had heard melodies or singing in the forest. And then in 4212, Colby said that the past owner would hear chants or singing in the forest. How did nobody even notice that? We're dumbasses.
How did we miss that?
Also, Clara, the first haunting that she heard sounded like a Gregorian chant or like a choir, a Catholic choir singing from the forest.
What?
Did you not hear that?
Nikki.
The music?
The music?
You're hearing
What?
It was like a melody, like melodic.
What? And it was Nikki that heard it too.
Yeah, everything was targeting Nikki.
That's crazy.
Right after she said that, we were like, let's go outside. And that's when we heard more things.
There was a shadow figure right there. I just keep saying shit in the corner of my eye.
Wow. Maybe that was just something that Nikki heard.
If she's the most empathic out of all of us, of course she's the one to hear the melodic chanting, just like the previous owners.
Beechworth Asylum.
Wait. I thought we actually were going to hear. I thought we were going to hear them. Okay, maybe I mistook that. I thought we were actually going to hear the music. But she just said she heard it. In the very beginning, Nikki said that she heard a melody or singing in the forest. Colby said the past owner heard chants. Okay, so they were just comparing that she heard music and yada, yada, yada. Look, I can probably sum this up to be either a situation where she actually did have a personal experience, coming from somebody who believes in the paranormal. I really do. Could just say that she had a personal experience, and maybe she was the only one who actually heard this. But at the same time, I know that Nikki specifically really was hyped during that video a lot, in the sense that she really overly scared herself. People were saying that in the beginning she was hearing this, but in my opinion, I think she was even nervous just in general going into that house. So I'm not saying she was hearing things. I'm not saying she's, crazy or anything like that. It's not like I have anything against Nikki. I just think that genuinely in that video specifically, there was the Hinsdale house, right? Yeah, the Hinsdale house. There was a lot of fear in her to where she was literally over exaggerating. In my opinion, I think she was, where she was seeing the rooms fill up with smoke and whatnot, apparently. And she really was having a legitimate, some sort of breakdown and just had to get out of the house. To me, everybody was making it sound like something was targeting her. And in my opinion, that's going to feed into that fear in the back of her mind, thinking that something really is here trying to target her. And when you go into one of these locations, knowing the past, knowing the history, knowing everything that happened, you're going to feel these things. And obviously somebody knew that they could hear chanting, or like one of the previous owners said they heard chanting out in the forest and whatnot. So it would be that crazy if Nikki might have known that too? I don't know. I don't think it'd be that crazy to not, maybe if you did your research, maybe know that. So having said all that, I could probably just sum it up to be a personal experience. But having been the person who watched that video and said that I think Nikki got overly scared, I'm also leaning into that possibility too.
Like melodic.
What? And it was Nikki that heard it too.
Yeah, everything was targeting Nikki.
That's crazy.
Right after she said that, we were like, let's...
I just keep saying shit in the corner of my eye.
Wow. Maybe that was just something that Nikki heard.
If she's the most empathic out of all of us, of course she's the one to hear the melodic chanting, just like the previous owners.
Beechworth Asylum, messages to Juicy. So Rate the Bean 274A says, I don't know if anyone else heard it, but at 1 hour 13, when Juicy is apologizing for being loud and for the boys, before he says, what the fuck, there was a small noise, and I swear to God, I heard, it's okay, like a whisper to his apology. And then Scuba Steve 3000 steps in and says, while Juicy is in the cellar, IDK, if anyone heard the whispers, but it sounded like you're dead.
Oh, so one of them was like, it's okay to Juicy, and then one of them was like, nah, you're dead. Let's find out.
Anyone in the basement, I did not mean to disturb you. Sorry about my friends and my loudness.
Oh, you hear it?
No, I missed it.
It says, it's okay. That's crazy because you can see him.
Wait,
No, I missed it.
It says, it's okay.
how the fuck do you... That's a stretch. I'm sorry to whoever got that. I feel like that is an insane stretch right there, because like there's obviously a lot of noise that's happening in that basement, and like there's drops. It sounds like it's wet. I think it's raining. Like it just sounds like a bunch of the same noise. I don't believe that it said it's okay.
Oh, you hear it?
No, I missed it.
It says, it's okay. That's crazy
No,
because you can...
I see what he's getting at, but the problem with that is that he apologized, and then that noise, because it sounded the way it sounded, someone automatically kind of assumed that it was answering his question or like responding to his statement, and To me, that's a bit of a stretch. I don't think it's saying it's okay. I think it sounds like it's saying it's okay, but it sounds like also noise that's happening already in the background.
See him say, oh, what the fuck? But what in editing, me and you did not know what he was saying what the fuck to.
And he told us in person, I think we had this at the end of the video, that he heard something.
I kept hearing breathing, like heavy breathing.
In the edit, me and you were like, what is he hearing? Like, we can't 100% figure that out. Like, we didn't hear the voices that he was hearing.
Yeah.
But that's very clear. He's reacting to whatever that voice is. How did we miss?
He's reacting to fear. Guys, this has happened so many times in Sam and Colby's videos. I believe Colby was scared in the basement of the Farrar Elementary School. I believe he was. I believe he psyched himself up because he was down there alone. He was tied up. He couldn't escape. He was already afraid. He believes in ghosts. I believe he really spooked himself. I believe the same thing with Juicy. He was tied up in the basement of this building, and he was hearing the noises in the background because it was raining out, and I could only imagine what the noises were like down there in person. I believe he psyched himself up too. This is nothing crazy. Fear can make you see and think a lot of shit. I know. I've been in these situations. I know firsthand experience. I'm sure a lot of you guys in the audiences have too. I just wish there was more acknowledgement of that. There is no acknowledgement of that here. Ever. It never happens, and it's such a bummer. Because it's like, I really feel like that can sum up a lot of these personal experiences. Just say, he was really scared. He was so scared, it wouldn't surprise me.
What's that?
I thought he was just lying.
Here's the second clip.
Terrifying noise.
I heard that.
You heard that one?
Very, very faint. It's like, and it's like takes a really long time.
It just makes a lot more sense because the entire
Terrifying noise.
I heard that.
You heard that one?
Very, very faint. It's like,
I think I can understand where the your is, but I did not hear the dead because he was starting to talk while it was talking.
and it's like takes a really long time.
It just makes a lot more sense because the entire time, that was what Juicy was saying he was scared of.
Yeah.
And we just didn't know what he meant by that.
It's so hard, guys. You're gonna really have to listen with headphones because there's so much outside noise. It was raining while we were filming this, so listen past the raindrops and all like the.
Also, could it be the wind? Because I haven't seen the basement. I don't know if there's a lot of cracks. If I think back onto that episode, I feel like there was a lot of access to the outside there. So it could have been the wind. I know people hate when people use that excuse in horror situations, but no, the wind is a powerful enemy when you're doing investigations. It very much could have been the wind. Even they just acknowledged there's a lot of noise going on in the basement. It literally could have been legitimately anything. But I'm leaning more into the idea that it was probably outside interference, like they just acknowledged. That's just me.
Wet noises around Juicy and just listen closely to the actual voices.
You're dead, literally.
Oh my God! Indiana State Sanatorium video. Ali Rodriguez says you can hear it scream Colby and it sounds exactly like Sam back when they were investigating the Witch's Forest and they couldn't find Colby.
What?
What?
How do you remember this?
I don't even remember Witch's Forest at all.
Wait, why?
Because I got lost.
So you just forgot everything? Did you black out or something? What?
Is there anybody in this power plant right now?
What? Sound the same? Wait, let's re-listen.
Is there anybody in this power plant right now?
Colby!
Oh!
I did not catch that the first time.
Me neither.
How did you guys get that?
That was you from the future, dude.
Whoa. Was it me for the future or me for the past?
It was you in the past, but your energy stayed for the future.
So, like, that scream was traumatic enough to stay with us, haunting us for years to come.
How the did we miss that, dude?
Time is a human construct. Erase that for a second. How do we know we're not communicating with the future?
Oh yeah, we're stretching it now. Oh my God, this guy, I forgot his theory.
We think there's like receipts. We're talking to dead people. Yeah. Are you sure? What if we're haunting the future already and the future's manipulating the past?
Oh, wait.
God, guys, this is so meta, but he's basically saying energy doesn't die. So like we could be communicating with ourselves in the future even though we don't know it yet.
Also, he's saying in that world, does time exist? Why can't all of time's energy exist on the same plane? So maybe even though it was 5 years ago in Witch's Forest, we're hearing a voice that is replaying itself right now.
Or it's a radio malfunction and it just sounds sort of similar.
That is a crazy.
That would be more logical, I think.
Crazy meta theory.
This is very, very deep. This next one is from Jalong Jail, Mr. Nasty's unheard threat.
Ooh.
So user CL Winchester 1641 says, at hour 14, anyone else notice the part when Molly asked, "What are you really gonna do to us?" And while everyone else was panicking at the loud thud they heard, Colby in the Estes method
sounds about right.
said choke. That is so dang scary, like an actual threat. Did we not hear that?
Maybe we just didn't react to it. I mean, I was under.
What are you really gonna do to us?
What the fuck? Did you hear that?
He did say
Oh,
choke.
it's because we were reacting. Or you guys were.
Okay. So we did notice that because obviously we put the word choke there, so we heard it, but we didn't notice it in person.
That's crazy.
What's insane about Jalong Jail is every single thing pointed to it actually wanted to hurt us and attach itself to us at that little kitchen.
Dude, that kitchen was messed up.
Tommy, is that you?
Under whatever that electrical device is. Look at that thing. What is that? What is this? This is a power box? It's right underneath it. I mean, I'm pretty sure that would probably, if that's electrical, that would probably, it looked like it could be electrical. I could be wrong about that, but.
That kitchen was insane. And what's so weird is I think throughout the entire year, that one spot like gave everyone collectively like the most fear because it did seem genuinely threatening consistently for like 45 minutes.
Something was nasty in there.
Something. Oh my god! This is actually insane.
Yo, dude, I just there's something demonic here.
For sure.
This show. Another theory at this Indiana State Sanatorium from Iana2898 says, is anyone going to talk about how at 4350 the spirit box says, "Hey Colby," and then immediately says, "I like hanging out with Sam," in a different, deeper voice, as if they were having a conversation. Then it says, "Your past," which could have been "your past, you are past," which relates to the guy's theory.
I'm confused. Let's watch the clip.
If there's anybody here, you can come up to this device I'm holding right now and speak to us. Is there anybody in this power plant right now? I like hanging out with Sam.
What?
So
Can you repeat that? Can you say one of our names?
Crazy.
Your past.
What the fuck?
Interesting. Like you are.
You know what's interesting to me is that this guy's theory, and I'm not sure if it took place in that same video. I feel like it might have, actually. I feel like I'm beginning to sort of remember Jake and the other guy they did a collaboration with, Johnny, I think is his name. Jake and Johnny, I remember them in that video, I think, and they were walking down the hallway kind of talking about it. It always seems to be a similar vibe and trend and in the same rhythm with a lot of these guys' videos. Kind of like the most recent one when they are talking about Annabelle and how Annabelle, never heard this before ever in the existence of me knowing about Annabelle, where apparently one of her things is that she likes to separate people. And they looked at each other, and then at the end of the video, guess what? They are separating. It's felt scripted. Similar to this one. This whole little theory comes out, and all of a sudden, now there's a bunch of stuff in there that could relate to that theory. As if they are like making this huge discovery of a possibility, right? And this is just something I've noticed from time and time again. Going back again, farther back, now there's a connection and portal with all these different houses, and they will ride on this idea for a long time, like they are trying to push for what the real meaning of the afterlife is, right? So they start, now it's about this, now it's about that, now it's about this theory, now it's about this, now it's about love, live life, and then we all know how that worked out with the Conjuring series. This is something I've noticed a lot in their videos. Why does now things have to connect with this, right? Like, why do things have to... It was a theory. It wasn't anything more than a theory, but then they start really trying to show answers to that. And yeah.
Past.
You are past. You're in the past. It's so weird to try to like justify why all these energies would be happening at the same time. Like time doesn't exist in that plane. It's only in like the human world.
You let us know what you think down below. This is in our Gettysburg video. So Veronica will.
I'll do you one better. I'll let you know what I think on video.
This 8604 says at 1:28, did anybody else notice Colby turned his head toward the noise when he said, "You hear that?" during the Estes method? Okay, I would not know this.
It was almost like you subconsciously moved over.
Is that you?
Literally footsteps. Right outside.
You hear that?
Oh my god.
Oh, where the footsteps were!
Oh my god.
The reason I'm laughing and smiling is because I, like, blissfully, in the Estes method, have no idea what's going on. So I'm, like, looking at scary thing, like, you hear that? And, like, nobody, like, I have no idea what's happening.
And it's so scary. Even if you didn't turn your head, the fact that the word that you hear right after we heard the noise, you hear that, that's genuinely terrifying in itself. But the fact that you, like, look over, you're actually becoming the spirit at that point.
Please don't be that over the top, over dramatic. So basically, he turns his head when he says something and somebody's making it out to be something it's not. This happens also a lot in Sam and Colby content. And now there's like, so it's kind of interesting that you, without thinking, did this. And now there's a connection. It just, please stop with that. You don't have to, obviously. I'm not saying this as in like, stop doing this, that, and this, or you're fired. Obviously, I'm not saying this as like you have to do this. These are just some of the things I think that are a little silly and a little too stretched. Now this has something to do with spirits. It's like, no.
I was the spirit.
Or the spirit was just like inside of you. Another one from the Hinsdale house. Did killing the moth actually endanger Nikki? True Stories Inc. 423 says at 23 minutes, the white moth landing on Nikki symbolizes protection and that she's being watched over. Thought that was quite cool since you just made an offer.
Not my pants are expensive.
Oh, it's a white butterfly. Come here, brother. Oh.
It likes you guys.
Stuff on the moth.
Aww.
You killed the moth?
It felt so bad.
Really mad about it, and I have a really bad feeling about it, and because like, he was my friend, and now I'm actually really upset.
No. And that is literally an omen of death. Like, we weren't kidding around when we were saying that.
It's an omen of death, but it's like a symbol of protection.
Yeah, I don't know. Can we look this up?
White moth symbolism.
Oh wait, white moths can symbolize purity, innocence, or clarity.
But it can also be an omen of death or ill wishes.
So that means that after the moth was killed, that protection is now no longer there.
So it's Emma's fault that Nikki didn't use protection?
Yeah.
So this is another Hinsdale house. Emma hearing voices that Nikki heard. Ethel Jung J5W says hearing the woman's voice at 101 and Emma pointing it out reinforces the times where Nikki and her heard things. Facts. Let's see.
Why are you still here?
Heal.
To heal?
Yourself or other people?
Yeah, how do you heal?
I heard like a little girl's voice again.
What? That sounded like a little rip.
You think
Did it not sound like a...
You think that I was ripping behind the camera or something like that?
I don't know, dude. That sounded like you might have been trying to like push, but not like let it out like super loud. So I don't know, guys. That's just my theory.
Their theory is, hey, what about...
Honestly, it's not a bad theory. It'd be more realistic, wouldn't it? Like someone just tried to do something like that. I mean, then it didn't sound like a little girl to me.
Emma hearing noises and voices, and that corroborating with Nikki, meaning the house is haunted, and you're like, what if it's just a fart?
It could be, guys. Comment down below if you think it's alright.
If only there was more of that in your videos, like where you will say, like, it could have been this. But we got to go with the one that maybe makes it more haunted.
Pass.
Investigating our house. This is actually on a React channel video. Flower11222 says, I love how Colby connects Conjuring to oh, because we conjured them. Like, what about the goddamn Conjuring house?
What about it?
All of us?
So there's multiple. Conjuring? Did you hear that?
Oh my god.
Like we conjured them. Like there's multiple. Okay, how did I actually miss that, guys? Am I just stupid? Yeah, Conjuring house. It could be something from the Conjuring house. It could be Woods guy from the Conjuring house.
Are you the one calling us to the woods?
Yeah. Smile.
It's like all of us from the Conjuring.
They only have a certain amount of energy that they can use, and they're just like, we're from the Conjuring house. And I'm like, oh, so we're conjuring the mafia. They're like, fuck, God.
I can't work with these guys anymore. God dang it.
Well, I'm glad you guys caught it. Now we know.
Our house is haunted by the Conjuring house. Great. I don't know how that happens.
That's not good. This is also from Indiana State Sanatorium, the truth about the river.
I feel like the last thing that it wanted to give us is what it was telling me, and it said leave forever.
Those kind of last couple ones have been just kind of more than likely just coincidental. I get to sum it down to that. The Conjuring thing, I don't know. Conjuring itself is a word that's used. It doesn't mean it revolves around the Conjuring house.
Yeah, I think let's try it one more. As you point to it, I want to hear something
as you point to it.
Clear as day.
What was that?
That growl thing? What the fuck?
I don't know what it said, but that was a scary noise.
I remember how insanely scary that was. Because why did it say the river? As if like it was trying to be demonic and scary. Like all the other voices the entire night were like normal human voices. Did we talk about the river? Like what's the theory about the river?
The truth about the river.
An anonymous source sent our team the following theory. In the final Spirit Box session, it mentions the river. Many years ago, an 8-year-old girl accidentally drowned in a river very close to the sanatorium. Whatever was saying it was him or he's coming.
He's coming! He's coming! Holy fuck! He's coming!
Right after it told you about the river might be connected to her. Years
Wait,
before,
that's so
there was
sad.
another report of a girl who went missing and was found days later in the same river.
Whoa!
The theory is what we were talking to and what we were getting at was a warning about the guy who was bringing people to the river and killing them.
I think so. He's coming, meaning he was the one that like killed the little girl in the river?
Yeah.
Does that mean he was gonna drown us?
Yeah, I think it was like a warning about like, hey, he's the one that did it, guys. Like there's this spirit, there's this entity, or there's this like negative thing.
I'm so glad we got out of there.
I thought I remembered something about that river being off, but we didn't include that in the video. So that's crazy that looking back on the research, it all adds up. We didn't even know that in the moment.
Wow, that makes too much sense.
Either way, I do remember at the end of Indiana State Sanatorium, it got
Ghost of the Indiana State Sanatorium. Copy. Let's see if this might be it. Little Raccoon Creek. I'm assuming this is probably what they were talking about. Little Raccoon Creek. Mansfield, Indiana. An 8-year-old girl who rescued from a Park County afternoon has died, officials say. Indiana conservatives drowning at Big Raccoon Creek around 1:35 p.m. Okay, so there might be some truth to it. There might actually be some... There was a little girl that drowned there. There's the creek right there. I'm assuming this looks like it could be the creek. So I'm assuming the creek right here is what they were talking about. And it would be right over here. So if that's what they're talking about, then yeah, it's pretty close. And it looks like... Hold on. Big Raccoon Creek, Indiana. Where's Big Raccoon Creek, Indiana? That's 23 minutes away. So it's not that far regardless. If it was Little Creek, then it would be like literally right there. But apparently the one it happened at was at a place called Big Creek. Big Raccoon Creek. Okay. And this one happened at Big Raccoon Creek around 1:35 p.m. So it's still pretty relatively close. That's the one I could find at least.
very, very violent.
Very quick.
Like, get out.
You go!
He's coming.
It's him.
Just a lot of threats over and over and over again.
Be warned. Moment of crisis. Leave.
Forever.
I have no idea how we missed all of that, but we are preparing for 2025 videos, so comment down below where you want us to go.
Hopefully you enjoyed that video and it...
Okay, overall, I feel like I did okay there. Yeah, the one I could find about that little girl drowning was it seemed like there was actually some documentation of a creek that actually was about 20-something minutes away. I'm not sure if she was murdered or not. I didn't look too far into it, but at least there was some confirmation into that. Having said all that, guys, let me know in the comment section, what do you think? Let me know. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. If you're new around here, I will continue to do this kind of stuff if you guys so wish. Until next time, please do take care.
going down, coming after all these paranormal clowns. He's watching, not letting get away. On his way, cut stars, tearing the fakers apart. Here with his heart, no one dare tell him can't react, because Jacobs has your back. Throwing down, coming after me if you can't, who can't stay.